CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, voters decide. The stage is set for the third Republican presidential debate right here in Miami. South Florida will be the focus of the political world tonight. Former President Donald Trump will hold a rally in Hialeah. That's while 5 other Republican candidates debate at the Adrian R. Center. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner has the details.
We are stationed outside of the Adrian R. Center where the debate is set to take place tonight, and we are catching up with the candidates as they are walking inside of the debate hall. We had a one-on-one exclusive interview with Governor Ron DeSantis, and he spoke about how he is excited that this debate is happening in his backyard. He also spoke about how he's happy that the field is dwindling down. There will be fewer people on stage tonight, so he says this gives him an opportunity to really highlight himself and talk about what he calls a deficit in leadership and how he is the one who can fill that gap. And before the debate even started, Chris Christie took a dig at Governor DeSantis, saying that DeSantis is going to use talking points throughout the debate. Now, throughout the evening tonight, we are going to dig into different topics, including what we believe the questions are going to be tonight. Because this is Florida, we expect something on climate change, immigration. We know that Israel is going to be a big topic. The RNC said that there will be 2 questions taped from Jewish Floridians. South Florida is home to one of the largest Jewish populations outside of the state of Israel. We'll also talk about whether or not people are watching this debate and what impact it actually has on the Republican field. So for now, we're outside of the Adrian R. Center. Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
It will be very eventful, and to Hialeah, where former President Trump is holding his own rally. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten takes us there.
Lots of Trump supporters spending hours out here in Hialeah before the event here this afternoon. A lot of them came actually last night. Some got here early this morning. You can see just the whole crowd here. It goes all the way down the street. A lot of people here just to say that they want to be here to support Donald Trump, and he has a lot of very ardent supporters. How long have you been here?
I got here Monday at 5 p.m.
Why so early?
Well, I was in the area, though I don't live in the immediate area, and I just decided I'd come over.
What makes it important for you to be here?
Well, I supported Donald Trump from the very beginning, 2015. I believe in what he's done, what he stands for, and we look forward to his doing it again when he's reelected next year.
So once again, all those supporters out here spending hours out here in Hialeah in the hot sun waiting for the gates to open. We're going to have much more on this coming up at 5 and 6. In Hialeah, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside at beautiful downtown Miami. At least the weather is holding up for all those attending the rally. Let's get right to Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler. How long will this last?
I think it's going to be just fine for this rest of this afternoon and this evening. We're looking at temperatures that have dropped just a little bit. We have a few fair weather clouds out there. Some rain this morning that came in from the Atlantic, but now dry weather this afternoon. Temperature is down to 81 degrees. So far, the high today has been 86. Feels like 83 though, so there is just enough low-level moisture to put a little bit of a humidity feel into the atmosphere. This is what we're looking at, mostly dry with just a few showers tomorrow. That's again with this onshore flow. Near record high temperatures in the mid to close to upper 80s. We're going to take that into the weekend and then breezier this weekend. And next week we've got some pretty big changes, a pattern change. Looks like it's that wind that we've hated so much is actually going to come back. So those windy conditions. But let's deal with this nice weather right now. 81 in Miami, 82 Fort Lauderdale, Homestead now 82 degrees. Homestead picked up some rain earlier this morning, about 0.07 of an inch there. The drier air is sitting just offshore, kind of making its way that direction. But the reason is we have a ridge of high pressure over northern Florida here. So the flow around it, that clockwise flow, is sending that drier air southward. So that's why any kind of rain that does get in is going to be very low base. So these little showers with an easterly flow. Tomorrow morning, we're going to see a few showers showers coming in. Sprinkles, light showers, nothing big though. That will continue to make their way from east to west across the state. And then on Friday morning, thought we'd ever get a few showers here across the southeastern part. Now it looks like most of this moisture wants to move westward with that flow, that southeasterly flow. So our winds will change from easterly to southeasterly. High pressure slowly making its way to the east. It'll continue to be warm, and then we have another front coming in, but that's going to get kind of hung up before it starts moving south, and really uncertain how far south it is going to make it. Highs tomorrow should be right around 85 degrees, so just a little bit cooler than today. And again, we're looking at those spotty showers, temperatures in the lower 80s if you're heading down to the Keys. So here is your forecast for your Thursday. Look for a high of 85, 87 on Friday. A breezier this weekend, and next week a better chance for rain, plus that wind is going to start kicking in again.
All right, thank you, Cindy. A violent crash turned deadly in southwest Miami-Dade. CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn has the report.
Miami-Dade police tell us this started out as a call about a suspicious car.
Once officers were in the area, just saturating the area, they were able to see a vehicle that matched the description on Miller traveling eastbound at a high rate of speed.
Then police say around 3 a.m., the driver crashed into a concrete pillar that is part of the Turnpike overpass near Southwest 117th Avenue and Miller Drive.
As the officer tried to get closer in order to further investigate, at one point he did turn on his emergency equipment. However, immediately thereafter, the driver lost control of the vehicle, striking one of the concrete pillars that are under the overpass of the Turnpike, causing that car to flip to its side.
How fast the driver, a 15-year-old boy, was going and whether he or the passenger, a 14-year-old girl, wore seatbelts is still being determined. Police pronounced the driver dead at the scene. The girl was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
What concerns you about this accident, Ed?
Everybody comes over that bridge going like 60, 70 miles an hour every day.
As residents find out more details, Ed Fernandez says it's time to look at the roadway.
What do you think should be done about this?
I think the police need to put some speed traps there to slow these people down. Because if not, or something to slow them down over that bridge, because it goes up and then it curves.
We asked police if there was a possible issue.
No, I mean, here the roadways are clear. There's visibilities, there's lighting. Everything is within the norm.
And Public Information Officer Alvaro Zablada stressed how important it is for parents to remind their kids about the dangers of speeding.
It is unfortunate that we are able to make contact with the mom as she is awakened, getting ready to go to work, to learn that her son was involved in a violent crash because of speed, and unfortunately, it takes his life.
That was CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn reporting. Now to the Israel-Hamas war. Israel Defense Forces say Hamas has lost control of parts of North Gaza. This as thousands of Palestinians move south to flee the war. CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry has the latest.
Emergency workers in Gaza rushed the injured to hospitals Wednesday as Israel's military continued its bombardment of what it says are Hamas targets in the densely populated territory. Doctors say they desperately need more medical supplies as they struggle to treat large numbers of Palestinian civilians.
We're really running out of things now, dressings, particularly for the burns.
Israel Defense Forces released what they said was footage taken inside Hamas tunnels. Israeli troops are pushing further into Gaza City in an effort to dismantle the terror group and to retrieve more than 240 hostages. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and top diplomats from the group of 7 wealthiest nations announced a unified stance on the Israel-Hamas war Wednesday. They condemned Hamas and announced their support for Israel's right to self-defense. They also called for a humanitarian pause to aid desperate civilians in the Gaza Strip, but they did not press for a full ceasefire.
Those calling for an immediate ceasefire have an obligation to explain how to address the unacceptable result it would likely bring about. Hamas left in place with the capacity and stated intent to repeat October 7th again and again and again.
In southern Israel, groups of volunteers helped clean up communities Hamas attacked on October 7th, while others filled in for farmers.
We're here to help each other in arms in these times of war and these horrible, tragic times.
Their hope is that survivors of the attacks will be able to come back to their homes one day. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
New details. Ivanka Trump testified in the ongoing civil fraud trial of her father and his business in New York. What she had to say next. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The fourth and final Trump family member took the stand today. It's in the civil trial alleging widespread fraud in the family business. CBS News Miami's Michael George joins us live from New York. Michael, what happened?
Well, Naja, what a contrast from Monday. While former President Trump's testimony was combative, at times rambling, Ivanka Trump on the stand was calm and collected, though she did answer most of the prosecutor's questions with, "I don't recall." Ivanka Trump arrived at the New York courthouse, the prosecution's final witness in the Trump Organization's civil fraud trial. The former president's daughter is not a defendant, though her father and brothers are. She played a central role in managing her father's relationship with banks, but she calmly testified she had no role in his personal financial statements. Prosecutors say those statements included inflated valuations, which helped the business secure loans and insurance.
You cannot hide from the truth.
New York Attorney General Letitia James says Trump's daughter is trying to distance herself from the business.
Miss Trump will do all that she can to try to separate herself from this corporation, but she's inextricably tied to the Trump Organization and to these properties that she helped secure financing for.
On the stand, Ms. Trump said more than a dozen times she could not recall details of her loan negotiations and does not remember reviewing documents that valued the company's assets. The president and his two sons have already testified and denied any wrongdoing, each of them defiant after taking their turn on the witness stand.
This is a scam, and this is a case that should have never been brought, and it's a case that now should be dismissed.
And this is a big charade that's a huge waste of taxpayer money.
The judge has already ruled that Donald Trump and his company committed fraud. The trial will decide the penalty and additional charges, including conspiracy and insurance fraud. So let's talk about what's at stake in this trial. The Attorney General is seeking $250 million in penalties and a ban on the Trump Organization doing business in New York. Reporting live in Lower Manhattan, Michael George. Naja, back to you.
Michael, thank you so much for that report. And that's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.